Yo, what up guys? Corey Sandman Sandhagen here. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to just do Jan and Figgy. It was a really interesting fight. Jan looked amazing, to be honest. I kind of figured that the fight would go the way that it was just because Figgy's more chaotic, square version. Jan is a much bladed, technical guy. That's not like a knock on Figgy. Figgy usually makes his chaos work, but like I was saying, you kind of saw that that's the way that the fight was going to go. Congrats to Jan. He looked really great. Figgy's a really good matchup for him to look super good in specifically. So let's talk about everything that happened in the fight. Squared, bladed, chaos, technical. Peace. All right, guys, let's talk about Petr Jan style first, okay? Because really what this matchup really was in the striking is, well, one, Jan is a much more crisper, just more technical guy than Figgy is. Figgy's like a very powerful guy, and he knows how to make it work, but he's definitely not like as nuanced or as technical as a Petr Jan is, and that's just like the truth. You know, that's not hating on Figgy. Figgy figures out ways to make it work, but like I said, he's just not as technical, okay? And when you start fighting like guys, equally tough, equally as much will, the technique piece really, really matters, which is why I'm making these videos. So first things first, Jan's style, okay? He stands super, super bladed here, okay? He doesn't show a lot of his body like this. He also fights with the long guard, and that works when you have this really bladed style, okay? When you're really square and you try to fight with the long guard, it doesn't really work as well because there's too much access over side of this. Where when I'm bladed, I always have like, even if it's not like a traditional like Philly shell roll, you do have like the ability to hide behind this more than when I'm square like this and doing it here, okay? Like things can get on the inside if they don't go round. Here, you're probably not gonna get on the inside or the outside if I just lift up on my long side or my long guard side, okay? So the reason Jan is so hard to hit, and I know this from when I fought him, is when he does fight, he stays really in his shell like this, but he doesn't give a lot of targets, man. Like, I heard Sean O'Malley talk about this too. It's like, man, like that little guy was really hard to hit, and he is. He doesn't give a lot of targets. When you're in this long guard and you're really bladed like this, it's very difficult to try to hit people with some meaning. Like you could hit them, you could hit their guard, you can kind of go around, but we all know what hurts people and what doesn't hurt people when we're fighting each other, and hurting Jan is really hard, okay? And it makes people do silly things because they feel like they're not having success. So when he's standing in this really long guard, he does a super good job of like, when he does throw power on his rear side, which really it feels like what he's looking for. I have to study Jan a little bit more, but it really feels like Jan is looking for something hard when he's hooking or like really hard kicks. The thing that I like about Jan is that he never opens super big. He never opens here and then gets square. That's like a very, I won't call it like old school boxing thing, but that comes from the boxing world, okay? You see in like modern day MMA, guys will stand really square like this. They'll move left, right, and they'll do stuff like this, okay? Kind of old school boxing, or people that come from a boxing background stand much more like this. When he does go to throw his rear side, and you'll see this a couple times, when he kicks, he opens and he closes really fast, okay? They're never like these really big tie kicks round and then a big round back. He stays here and kicks more on a line, like if there was a wall here, he kicks more up that line than going really round like a Thai boxer. And that makes him much faster, and it makes him come back into his stance much quicker, which is really like awesome to see. Like, I want to fight him again because we lost, but I'm actually a really big fan of his style and his fighting just in general, okay? He also does the same thing on the rear side when he's throwing his right hand. Like you saw one time when Figgy got close, Jan's here like this. When he opens up with his uppercut, he doesn't open and square his body real big like this. He'll stay here and he'll square his shoulders, but then he's hiding right back behind the shoulder, again, making it hard for you to find targets to hit afterwards. So he does that good with this right kick, boom, comes back to a stance, and then he does it good with like these right hands coming back into a stance, and especially on like some of the uppercuts that he scored, he stays way hidden, boom, scores, so that he doesn't need to give a ton of his face and a ton of his body when he goes to throw the uppercut, okay? So that's really cool on Jan's part. He'll also switch. When he switches, it's not with the purpose of creating angles or anything like that. Like square guys are switching to try to find angles and to get your feet moving. Jan more switches just to kind of give you a different look and to give you different targets for him to try to hit so he can counter, or his like really good attacks that he has when he does switch, okay? But you'll see they look really like this and a lot less corral-y and in a way to get people's feet moving, okay? Figgy's side, all right? Figgy is like a blitz guy, right? Like Figgy wants to move really square and then find a time where he can like bomb on you, okay? It's a little bit different than like the other Brazilian guys where like you see Aldo, Charles Oliveira, they stand here with a really close guard, they have a nice hop in their step, boom, they're blocking, they're doing all this. Figgy like doesn't fight like that. Figgy's style is much more chaotic. It's way bladed, it's way like at range, try to figure out a way to get close and then throw bombs. He hurt Jan with one of the shots, but it was, you know, a mistake that Jan made kind of. Something got through and then Jan adjusted. That's what I mean by like being more technical. Like if I'm blitzing and being really chaotic, it can kind of not be the easiest to like narrow down where the mistakes are happening. Where if I'm really technical and I get caught, I'm like, okay, I see that now. Now it doesn't get to happen anymore, which is like high level technical stuff. But Figgy's really square. He'll blitz, he'll throw punches, and that's his style. And I knew that Figgy was going to have like a lot of trouble. You never really know who's going to win, but I would have for sure put my money on Jan because Jan's one, he's hard to blitz on. He keeps a really good guard, and he's not chaotic, and he knows what he's doing really well. Where Figgy, who's a lot more bladed, tries to create chaos. It just doesn't work against someone that's cool with exchanging one, and then two, stand really guarded, covered, taking away all his targets because he's really bladed. And that was pretty much the tail of the tape. So congrats to Jan. Maybe we'll do it next. I don't really know what the division's going on. I haven't really heard too much. I was hoping to hear probably sometime next week about the direction that they're going to go in because I know that they were waiting on this fight to play out. And yeah, congrats to Jan. I still want to get that one back. We'll see if it'll be next or not. Gonna talk to the UFC. Like, subscribe, comment. Peace. I love you guys. Bye.